What is up, and welcome to another Loose Beats, where we chill out and make a beat. I'm Toby, aka Cushing, from the T&D YouTube channel. Make sure you check out everything we do. And today we got a new beat for you called Mad Specific. I'm gonna go ahead and give you a sample of the drop before we get into it. Yeah, it's got a nice little churchy trap vibe. I might call it like church trap or something. I don't know, but it's got a cool feeling to it. And this is one we made on one of our live streams that me and Davey did. And I kind of took our basic loop here and just broke it down and added a couple other instruments, stuff like that. And so let's go ahead and start going through what we got here. I have a couple little key movements going on. This is under your keyboards, the electromagnetic keys. Let's go ahead and hear what that tone is like. Just got these little runs. Kind of sounds like one of those little music boxes kind of thing. Maybe, what are they called? Is it a... It's not a kalimba, I don't think. What is it called? The little hand instruments, Kind of gives that vibe to it. And we add a little back and forth here with this plucked guitar, too, that goes along with that. And see, together you hear the difference. See, this one's just got this little kind of nylon, almost like harp sounding. But then we add in that little music box. It's got this nice little kind of, it's got that, like the Asian drum kit kind of sound over here. It's got some instruments that sound like that too. But when you can make your own, you try to pull out what you can. And this bass is coming in. The subby bass is a fun little one for me. It's got, if you look down at our MIDI here, most of the hits are just a half off, just a little bit off. So when you would start right on the one, you start on the two. It's actually a 1.5 if you're talking about the beats, but it's just that little pause though that really makes it for me. It gives it a little second guess of where the beat's going. And so with that off, and our drum beats up here, just a really simple kit. It's under Jagged Edges, and it's a pretty simple little, not many samples, nothing too frilly. It's just kind of acoustic sounding kit, but with some really clean hi-hats, give that trap sound. And so that by itself is just doing this simple, really simple trappy kind of thing. And we keep those hats and those snare going, and then we add in, from the same kit, the Jagged Edges kit, we add in the kick that comes in a little. And see, this one's got a few hits in the MIDI too that are a little different and a little set off that can match up with the bass, but it still hits our main points there, so it doesn't get too off track. But with that and the sub bass down here, you can see why it's nice that it's like set off a little bit. And then with the kick, see, it hits on some of them that are off, but it like also has this like call and answer kind of thing back and forth between them, which makes it nice. And then as far as our intro, we've only got a couple more things. We've got this subtle dynamics piano down here, which is doing just our main hits here. Yeah, just a nice little melody going. We got this pedal board running. We have this chrome verb on it, just to give it a little space. Got a chamber on it, and then we got this echo up high, and that's just what's doing our skipping there. It's on a eighth. Turned up the feedback a little bit just so it would last long enough in between the notes to fill the gaps, But so that one's bringing us in with a nice strong something to play off of. Again, some of these offset notes, and it just comes out nice when you can fill those little gaps with different instruments, And then down here we have one of our sound effects for the song. It's under your synth sound effects, and it's called fuel cells. Sometimes words don't work right. And it kind of sounds like a motorcycle, like revving up, and I just use it to transition into sections. So that by itself is just like this synthesized motorcycle. We have a small one there, and then we got a nice big one on this drop. Really builds the tension in there, And so we have this leading up, and then so our first drop here doesn't have our 808s. It has our sub B bass in it, and it's when we introduce the kick. And so everything kind of keeps going the same way. This marimba comes in halfway through. I'll show you. It's just hitting some off notes too, just filling up that space. But it's really just that simple. I didn't want it to be driven by the marimba, just add a little extra. And as far as when we hit this part, we've got a couple new things coming in. We've got this boys choir, which is under your vintage Mellotron. It's just like, it's got some flutes. It's got a small choir and flutes, violins. And it's doing this nice little churchy kind of not scream, but like some chants, And so it was just a little too clean coming in by itself. So I added this fat effects here and moved us a little bit. I don't want to mess with it too much because I got it just where I want it, but I moved us a little bit in this effects module, and then I also I had it bit crushed before, but I think that was a little too heavy. But I kept this drive down low, and it just added, it made it a little more gritty, a little less clean and pure sounding. And then along with that boys choir, we have this vintage organ, just doing some of our slide down hits. A little, just a couple of those, Just a ow. Let that settle in. And it comes in with our choir here. So we've got, yeah. And so under that, we have a couple more things. We have this Detroit chords, which I'm doing this I'm really just hitting our root notes here. I did have it a little more complicated, but it just seemed like it was too much. And it's just kind of this wah effect in here. Yeah, it's like the steel drum wah effect. And I'm just hitting on some of our in-between notes because the boys choir comes in a little bit late there. And so I wanted something hitting along with the kick. And so all those are lined up. We've got our marimba coming in. We've got these effects going up and down in between. And then after this little break, we bring in all the same instruments except for the subby bass. And we replace that with this 808, which is in this quick sampler. I did it through that, really simple to use. And you just load up a sample in it and then play it, like you would a keyboard. But this it's got a pretty simple trap kind of fuzzy tone. It's got just enough of that fuzz to make it a little bit interesting. Yeah. And so that's kind of leaning in with that kick again and taking place of that bass. And so we really just have that go in and out and bring that depth in, And so really after that, that's pretty much it. We've got this working in different ways together. I really like how all of our melody is kind of helping each other out. We've got a few things. Let's see. Let's try our marimba with that. Our bass. Just kind of see. Yeah. So there's our main melody with our bass. But if you hear them kind of taking all the spaces, they're kind of answering each other, And I like that with between instruments, have that kind of conversation. But yeah, I'm loving the way this one's turned out. It's a pretty standard kind of trap song, but it's also got that churchy feel to it, And that's pretty much it for this week, We got this Mad Specific, might want to call it church trapping out the church. I don't know. It's just got some odd mix there. And so I'm going to go out on this song. I appreciate y'all watching. Leave a like and subscribe if you can. Leave us some comments. You can DM me if you like some beats, want to work on some music. Let us know what to do next, Give us some ideas of what you think. And we'll be back again. We go out on this church trap.